Good morning, everyone. So good to see you. So good to see some people already here. I love that. Um, hello. I'm going to talk to everyone at the end because I do get distracted really easily. And I want to show you my cute new project today. And it is this little holder. Actually, there's two projects. I'm going to show you how to make a holder for Welch's fruit snacks, and they just stay in this little pouch. These are a little bulky, so when you put them in a thing like this, they're not really going anywhere, so you don't have to have a bottom for it. So it's just open-ended little pouch, and it just fits the little snacks really easily. I think this particular one, I think, would make a really great little decoration, little favor to have at employee appreciation breakfast, or something like an appreciation lunch, or customer appreciation, or a teacher breakfast, something like that. These would be really cute to have in a little basket. You could even make the background in different colors. You could make the fruit in different colors. But this is just so cute. I love that. And then I also made one that is with a belly band, and this one holds two Welch's snacks. So this one's a little bit more work. They're both not hard, but the two holder one I think would be more gifty, like something that you could put on someone's desk, or something like in addition to something else, or like just a small little gift. This one would be more like a gift because it's got two. So this is just a little belly band, and then it opens up like this. I did not decorate the inside of this one. It would be very easy to do like some designer series paper across the front. We're just in a really weird situation right now this time of year where our catalogs are crossing over, and there isn't a lot of designer series paper that is currently available for purchase. And I hate to show stuff too far in advance that is going to be available. So I've left this blank, but you could stamp something on here, or you could put designer series paper. It's very easy to decorate this up on the inside, but it's kind of cute. So I'll show you how to make both holders, and you can decide which one you want to make, or you can make both of them. I think Welch's fruit snacks are very readily available in the grocery store. They have a whole bunch of different flavors. I don't think you'll have trouble finding them anywhere in the US. I don't know if they're available elsewhere, but this is highly adaptable. If you have little snacks of this sort, you can maybe adapt it for the size of your snack. So just keep that in mind, that even if these are not available in your country, you can find something similar to do with this. And this is just so cute. Look at this. Sending you a big squeeze. That's really cute. If I was doing this for like a customer appreciation, there is a thanks a bunch on there as well. That would work really nicely at the bottom of your holder. So you've got some options. But I think sending you a big squeeze is, depending on the situation, it's very punny, so I don't think it would be offensive to anyone. So because there is a citrus fruit on there, so that's the pun. I think that would be super cute. So I'm going to show you how to make those today. If you like my videos, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my video. The other thing I wanted to mention, I do have a host code running this month I have one running every month, but this is the host code for April. And if you spend $50 with me in April, you will get the what are they called? They are called the In Color Pearls sent to you in May. You must use this host code though and spend at least $50 in April 2023. So to get those. All right. I am gonna switch over to my other camera. Let me pop this away. And we will get started here. Okay. I want to talk about the products that I used, And the first one is, pop this in the correct direction. This is the Sweet Citrus Bundle. And the bundle pricing on this is going away after April. So in May, you'll have to buy the hybrid embossing folder with the dies. They match up. Excuse me. They match up, and then the sweet citrus stamps that you would have to buy those separately. But right now you can get them as a bundle and you can save 10%. So if you're at all liking this bundle and you want to make sure you get that, just put in your order before the end of the month. And then for this label up front here, this little piece, the scallop piece that kind of just makes a really sweet label to put stuff up on, I'm using the Scalloped Contours dies. So you can use a different type of rectangle, but this one is super cute. It's got that scallop and the added stitching, and that's just one roll through the die cutting machine, and it adds a lot to this. So if you were making these for your lunch or breakfast or whatever it adds just that little extra something to the front without extra work. Okay, so those are the main ingredients in my project today. So let's get started. We're gonna make the easier of the two pouches first, and then we'll make the double pouch second, because I figure a lot of you will probably want to make this for an event. Okay, so very simple. This piece measures 6.5 by 4 inches. 6.5 by 4. Put the long side up at the top and score at the 3-inch mark and the 6-inch mark. So easy. Okay. Oh, one thing I should mention, I will have a project sheet for both of these projects. I did not get it ready in time, so I can't even show you anything of my project sheet. It was quite the day yesterday. So anyway, it will be mailed out on Saturday. You must be on my email list. To get on my email list, look down in the description of the video and you will see the link to sign up if you're not already on my list. Okay, so basically what I just did there, I just took my bone folder and I just folded this along the score lines. Super easy. Oh, I was like, where did my glue go? It went over to another table, but it's back now. Okay, so to finish making this little holder, just the holder part, just fold that tab over. See, it's folded over. Okay, and I put glue along it, and then I'm just going to close it on top right there. Oh, this is also, you want to do this, just use your bone folder to really press down on that. And I would wait, let's decorate this up first before we put this holder, the Welch's fruit snacks inside. That will give the glue a chance to set up a little bit so that it won't pop open. Please use, if you're making these, please use something like our Tombow glue, and this is going to be more expensive in the new catalog. So I checked yesterday. I don't know if it went out of stock yet, but pick this up now, okay? Because right now it's $4 a bottle. It's probably the cheapest place you can find it on the internet, at least the last time I looked, but it's going up $1.50. There's a reason it was the cheapest. We haven't had a price increase on this in a long time, but this glue is excellent, and it sticks all my 3D projects together, and they don't come apart. In fact, this morning I changed my mind on how I was making the 2 treat holder pouch, and I had to pull apart my project, and it didn't go so well because I needed the front part for anyway. That glue sticks, and that's a good thing. Okay, so let's set this aside, and I'm going to show you how to create this. This is so cool because you have the stamping, you have the texture, and it cuts out. So all at the same time. So, well, maybe not all at the same time. Stamping first, then you run it through and cut and emboss at the same time. All right, you will need a piece of basic white cardstock, and you're going to need these 2 stamps. I have put these onto E-blocks, okay? You'll need a big block for that. E-block works well. And I'm going to, see there's a little bit of stuff on there. I'm going to turn this into an orange. These are the snacks I'm using, Welch's Fruit Snacks. There's a big old orange on there, so that's what made me choose the orange. But you could also make this into a lemon or a grapefruit. There's a lot of flexibility with these 2 stamps to create the different fruits that you want. Orange is pretty easy though, and we just need, here we go. We need the pumpkin pie ink pad. And it's easiest to do the outside first. So I'm going to ink this up in pumpkin pie. All right. And we're going to stamp this down right here. And I'm actually kind of looking to make sure that this is going to fit in my embossing folder too. Like, so I didn't, stamp it way down here because otherwise it would stick up funny. You could always cut it off, but I'm kind of just looking, okay, this is going to fit in this direction of my embossing folder. Okay, so next we take this ink it up. Always make sure it's really inky. Okay, so now you just have to rotate this so that it fits. Okay, so I'm standing up, so that's kind of the best way to kind of make sure everything is in the correct position because you're coming right straight down. Okay, let's hope I got it pretty good centered. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is only the second time I've stamped with this, and it works pretty well. You just kind of hover till it looks really centered. So there's the fruit, and it looks pretty just like that. And if you wanted to, you could just die cut it with the die. But the cool thing with the hybrid is that you can do the cutting and embossing at the same time. So, oh, you know what? Before we do that, I'm just going to grab a little scrap piece of paper because I also want to die cut some leaves at the same time. So this is old olive ink, and these are the leaves that come in the Sweet Citrus stamp set. So I'm just going to stamp a couple of them. I'm going to do one more. I didn't like the way that one's stamped. All right, there we go. So these leaves we're going to need, I'm actually cutting out 2 because I'm going to cut them already for the second project because there's enough citrus on here that we can make 2 or even maybe 3 projects with it at the same time. Okay, so we're going to take this die and we're going to take the embossing folder and open up your embossing folder, and you're going to lay your die on the side that has the logo, the Stampin' Up! Logo. So on the inside, you're just going to take this and line this up until you kind of feel like it surrounds the fruit that you're going to cut out. There's the circular one here, there's the lemon here, there's the wedge here. When you feel that kind of click into place, then you can kind of turn this over. And now we're going to take our other piece and we're going to just maneuver everything into place until things look like they're lined up. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so once you've got that kind of all lined up, then you're going to close it up. Oh, it shifted just a little bit, so let's fix that. Fix that. shift, just a bit. Okay, I am a perfectionist. Okay, so now just hold that closed, and then I'm gonna grab my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, going to turn it so that the handle's like this. You do need to use your big machine for this because this is a wide embossing folder. Okay, so we're going to take our base platform, and we don't need the thin die adapter number 2, not for this. And we're going to find your number 4 plate. It comes with your machine. And you're going to place your embossing folder down. It has shifted a little bit again. I'm going to shift it back because I want this to be perfect. So probably get your machine out first instead of trying to hold too many things. Close this down and then put your thumb on it or fingers on it. And then you're going to put your number 4 plate over top. And we're going to roll this through. Let's see if the magic worked. Here we go. Look at this. So this is a nice embossing folder just with the fruit and the white. You don't have to use the die in there, but look at this fruit. It looks so cool. It's got so much texture to it. Look at that. Okay. So you grab your fruit, and we're going to pop this back over here. Okay, and then put your number 4 plate away and grab your thin die adapter number 2 and find your leaves. We'll also need some cutting plates. A cutting plate for number on the bottom and one for the top. And let me grab, I think, I was going to say, I think it comes with 2 sets of leaves. So yeah, look, ta-da, there's 2 sets of leaf dies. So we can do both of these at the same time. I'm just going to grab some of this labeling and cover up tape. You can also use the top of a post-it note. And I'm just going to position the die around the leaves till it looks good. And we'll do that as well. And then we're going to run this through. Okay. And there's leaf number 1 and leaf number 2. And then we need, we're making 2 projects, the decorations for 2 projects at the same time. So let's grab our scallop contours die. This is the middle one. So 1, 2, 3, counting in either direction. So the most middle die, the middlest die. I'm just kidding, that's not a word. I'm making up words today. That's the kind of week I'm having. It's not a terrible week, I have to say. It's just our house hunt is still going on. And I feel like the market has gone from worse to, this is the word I made up, worser. Because that's really how bad it is. In terms of trying to find a house, there's no supply here in the area. So I've slaughtered the English language because that's how bad it is. Okay, so we actually need 2 of these, and I cut one earlier, okay, because we're going to make one for one project and one for the other project. Okay, so let's finish off this project, the first one. We're going to take our old olive ink. We're going to take this cute greeting that says, "Sending you a big squeeze." I love that. That's really cute. You could put this in a package that you sent someone to, like as a little thing to put it, like a little additional gift. You know how sometimes you make a bunch of little gifts to put in a package? You could do that. I'm all over the place today. So, okay, for this one, so we could do, so earlier, you get one of these wedges each time you run the die through. And I already ran it through, and I used the big round, and I used this half one that's kind of on an angle, okay? And then I had one of the wedges from this die run, and then I have another wedge from this last die run. So theoretically, if you want to just use most of the fruit, the orange lemon isn't really something that I would probably use because it looks too much like a lemon. But if you were making the lemon ones, you could also do this one because this one would be yellow. But if you wanted to, you could like do something like this and do 2 wedges and then make like add a leaf here. And then you could add one of your little bows here too. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out what arrangement will look the best. But people that are good at arranging things, not me, because it takes me literally hours to figure out the best combination. You could do that and then add that little bow onto there. So you could also use the little wedges. I'm gonna use the easy button. I'm gonna show you how I did this one. We'll take, I'm gonna put this away for a moment. We're gonna take a dimensional, and I'm gonna put it close to this edge here because I'm gonna put this leaf here. So it's gonna be closer to this side. Just one dimensional, and you're just gonna place this kind of where you want it. And then the leaves are still loose, so you're gonna grab just a little bit of Tombow and lift that up and just slide that in there and then press it down. And then you're gonna take, I tied this bow earlier. This is, just wanna put this up. This is the Essentials Baker's Twine, and it comes with neutral twine. I'm using the white out of here, and I'll just put a little dot of Tombow right at the edge here. Just a teeny tiny dot. You can kind of see, it's just teeny tiny. And then I put my knot into there and I hold it down. And Tombow actually will hold twine down pretty nicely. You just need to hold this for a few seconds. Okay, so let's bring our pouch in. It should have dried by now so that you can insert one of these Welch's fruit snacks. Just kind of evenly distribute this, then pouch it open. I like that tab to go the back, so I'm just going to turn that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I think I like this direction better. Either way, it doesn't truly matter, but you're just going to stick it inside there. I change my mind all the time. So, oh, actually, you know what? It's easier to put this label on when the pouch is flat. But I'm going to show you, because this bows out. See, it bows out. If you try and glue it down, it's hard because those edges want to pop up. These edges right here, they want to pop up because it doesn't like to curve and stick. So I found the easiest way to adhere this is actually using dimensionals, and you just pop them one in each corner. Okay. And then just press this down. And if it's flat, it's easier to do. Dimensionals are another thing that stick generally really well. So just press down on those dimensionals and then pop this open and slide that in. If you want this to be even more secure, you could also, because the middle of this label is touching the cardstock because it's bending over that curve. You could also put a line of Tombow on the back along this line right here. Okay, so if you have the dimensionals and a line of Tombow, that label won't be going anywhere. And isn't that cute? It's just so easy to do. It's stuck in there, you know, so this would just look awesome in a little basket. I can just totally see this, and it is not hard to make at all. Easy pouch. Okay, so pouch number 2. I want to show you how to do that too. We have almost all the decorations already done for the second pouch too, so I just have to show you how to make this. All right, so we're going to start off with our scoring board again. And we need a piece of cardstock. This piece, this is Old Olive. This piece measures 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So put this right up at the top, and we're going to score at the 3/4 inch mark, the 3 3/4 inch mark, the 4 1/2 inch mark, and the 7 1/2 inch mark. Okay, this was on the long side, okay? And then we're going to turn it to the short side, either one, and score at the 1 1/2 inch mark. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right, so we're going to do some cutting. We are going to cut on the short side. There's one score line that you can see. Just cut up along the score line to the first score intersection, okay? And this is going to become a tab. So we're also going to cut in a little bit on an angle. You see? I'll show you in a second. See, it's just a teeny tiny bit of an angle. Okay, you're going to turn this and do this on the other side. Same thing. Cut along the only score line on the short side, the other short side, just until that score intersection. And then you're going to do a little angle cut. All right. Pretty easy so far. All right, so let's fold this piece along the score line, all the score lines. So first we'll fold this up, and then we're going to fold over this end, folding it inward along all the score lines. And then let me do this last one. It's easier for me to fold like this so I get both of them folded down at the same time. Okay. All right, so this is what your piece should look like now. This folds up like this. These little tabs are gonna tuck in like this and glue down to here. And then this is gonna fold in and this is gonna fold in. Okay, so bring this back down. So what you're going to do is fold these two in. Make sure they're kind of flat. Fold those in. You're going to take glue while they're folded down and put glue on those tabs. And you're going to bring them up like that. And you're going to burnish them. I see some glue squeezing out. Get rid of that. You're going to burnish these guys because you really want to make sure there's going to be some pressure popping out on there. So you want to just burnish that down. Make sure it's turned into your little pocket. And you don't have to worry about the center part. Once you close this, it's going to push onto that back right there anyway. Okay, so let's let this set up because this is finished. We also want to create, I'm trying to think, I need one more piece of cardstock. I had to run across the room. I forgot to cut one thing so I can show you. All right, so I've got my trimmer here, and this is just a regular sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So I am going to cut this. I'm going to line it up at the 1-inch mark right here. And I'm going to cut myself a strip of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 1 inch. Okay, this is going to create a belly band. So for the belly band, you can also score on your trimmer, but I like to score on my Simply Scored because it is awesome. All right, put that little piece right up at the top, and I hope I got the measurements right for this. I had to write them down out of my head afterwards, so let's double check. So we're going to score at the 3/4 inch mark. We're going to score at the 3 7/8 inch mark. Then we're going to score at the 4 5/8 inch mark. And finally, we're going to score at the 7 3/4 inch mark. So I think these are the correct measurements. We'll double check in a moment. 3/4, 3 7/8, 4 5/8, and 7 3/4. All right, so we're going to fold along the score lines. And these are going to overlap here on the side. Okay. Actually, I think when I did mine, I had the overlap on a slightly different spot. That could be true, but it doesn't really matter. It's now overlapping on the side, which is absolutely fine. Okay, so I am putting Tombow on one end, and I'm going to overlap with the other end. And since this is symmetrical, I'm just going to press down. You can use your... Okay, so that should create the belly band. And I think it looks like it matches up with this one. Okay, I got the correct dimensions. Okay, good. All right, so we'll just let these two pieces dry, the glue dry, and then we'll bring in our extra label. We're going to bring in the greeting one more time, Old Olive ink, and just repeating what I did before, sending you a big squeeze. This font is great because I can tell, I think I stamped that a little bit crooked, but it doesn't look too bad because the font is all swirly, so it's a very forgiving stamp. So even if you have people stamping these and they're not skilled, they haven't done this before, they should still be able to do a decent job like I just did. Okay, so take one of your citrus that you ran through the embossing folder earlier, and I'll just stick one right in a dimensional, right in the dead center. And we're gonna plop this kind of on here right in the middle at the top. We'll take some Tombow and put it on the back of the leaves. Remember, I cut 2 leaves, so this is just the second one. So just tuck that under there. The dimensional is in the center, so it's nice. You can tuck and kind of play with the placement, and the citrus is already there, right? And then we're going to add, I tied another bow earlier, and I'll just place a little dot of glue there, and we'll just add that on there. The reason the baker's twine sticks is it's got little tiny fibers sticking out of it, and the glue holds on to those pretty well. Sometimes if you've got a really, like a sheer ribbon, I would not recommend Tombow, but for baker's twine, it does actually work. Okay, so how do I do this? We need some more Welches. And I'm going to show you a little trick to get these in here. So this this is like fairly flat. I didn't build any height into there. So what you want to do is take your Welches and put the fruit near the top, okay? So this bottom is flat, like it's just air down here. And then you're going to tuck this in. So it's holding it in, but most of the fruit is up near the top. And I'm going to do the same for this one. So when you tuck it in, it's just a little easier to bring it all together. So then we're going to fold this together. And since this is the front, I want this piece to be on the outside. So it's going to overlap. So these two ends, they both come over and fold over. So if you didn't want to do a belly band, you don't have to, but you need something to hold this shut. So you could use a Velcro dot, something right here, a closure to hold that shut. You could also do ribbon across. I like the belly band because then it can slide on and off easily. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take that belly band we made earlier. We're going to just slide it over the top. And now this is like closed. And then we're going to add this onto here. So notice this doesn't come right to the edge. So we're going to add glue probably starting right here and coming over here. You don't want to have a sticky spot. So make sure your belly band is centered. And then I'm going to stick down here. Press down. If you really want to get better adhesion, you can slide this off now and press down here. Now you can really press down and make sure that label is stuck into the glue and you're not pressing on this. This is not quite as solid to press down. So there we go. And now we can take this and we can still slide it over the top to create our two pouch. And these, I mean, if you gave them a good shake, I'm sure they would come out, but I'm like doing this and they're stuck in there. So these ones will also stay in there because there's a little, the fruit is holding everything in there. So that is all there is to that. So you've got two different pouches. You've got kind of the thicker one with two in there, and then you've got this little one with one in there. And think about it, you could do lemons, you could do grapefruit, you could do blood oranges, you know, you could change things up. I think, you know, I'm going by some of the fruit that's on here. This orange, I picked one that had some citrus in it to make this make sense, so to speak. But Welch's has a whole bunch of different flavors. So, yeah. So give that a try and see what you think. I hope you like that project. All right. If you want to get the Sweet Citrus Bundle, it's the 21st of April today, so we've got about just over a week left for you to get the bundle before the pricing goes up. They will no longer be a bundle, they'll be separate products, but the bundle pricing will be going away. So if you're going to do that, make sure, if you're ordering from me, use this host code when you check out so that you can get your gift in May when I send them out. All right, your order needs to be at least $50, just as a reminder. So I'm going to see if you have any questions at all. Let me know. And I'm going to say hello to all of you now. Thank you so much for joining me. It's just so nice to have people here. I wish I was able to do a better job of reading comments and working on my projects at the same time, but I think this works the best for me. So I hope you're okay with it. Good morning, Nancy. And sorry, I didn't go live right at 10 o'clock, but I was still finishing off my blog post, but I'm here. Hello, Verb Blue from Tennessee. Marty said this is the cutest project. Oh, thank you. I love where the bow is placed on the orange. Thank you. I do think a lot about where to stick the bows. Sometimes it takes me a long time to find that perfect placement. This morning it was pretty easy to figure it out. I don't know if I added it as a last minute element or if it was last night. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. We had to make a decision on whether we were going to place an offer on a house that we really liked. And that was this morning. And it just takes a lot out of me to contemplate all the options. There's so very little stuff on the market here in the Boston area that it consumes my brain. It consumes my husband's brain. We're trying to find a house that will work for us in the right neighborhood for us. And right now there's very little on the market. So we really love the house, but the neighborhood, we were a little concerned about it. Not that it was a terrible neighborhood or anything like that. It's just, we just didn't want to be the priciest house in the neighborhood. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. But anyway, it's just, so we decided not to put an offer in on the house. And, but that, my brain, we went to the realtor open house yesterday. And so since then I've been like, my brain's been churning on that house. So on to the next week because not very much came on the market this week. Okay. I am back to my project. Sorry about that. That's what's going on in my life right now. And it takes up a lot of my brain power. So I'm glad I'm still able to be creative because that would really suck if I couldn't create, but that still seems to be working for me. So good morning, Birgit from Germany. I'm glad you made it today too. Good morning, Karen from New Jersey. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Pat. She's watching on the TV on the wall. I'm probably really large, like not large, but like really large. And you're probably able to see all of the imperfections of things on the camera. So I hope I haven't blown up too large so that it's too overwhelming. Marty says she loves the double holder. Well, I'm glad I made it. I was debating whether or not to scrap the double holder, but I thought, there's going to be people who want to put more than one in that little holder. So it's kind of a different sort of look. So it will give you something to think about and to make. Pat asks, is the contour dies leaving? I do not think so. Let me just grab my catalog. I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I'm pretty sure it's not because I still have it in my collection and I've been pretty good. I'm just gonna, nope, they are staying. The scallop contours dies will be in the new catalog. So yes, I've been trying really hard not to show anything that's retiring because I don't want people to only have like 10 days to get these products. But the bundle prices for the sweet citrus bundle, that is going away in 10 days. But the products in the bundle are carrying over. So you can still get them even later on. You'll notice on my supply list that I typically list, if I'm using a whole bundle, I typically list the bundle and then I list the stamp set and then I list the dies. Because down the road, when the bundle pricing goes away, I still want people to be able to find the product. So if you're ever wondering, maybe you click on a bundle and it doesn't bring up anything in the store, go to the next entry, which would be the stamp set and then the die separate, and click on those as well because they may still be available even once the bundle goes away. I try to design with things that are going to stay for at least a little bit online. Okay. Pat said, this set makes a great thank you gift. Thank you. Can you use the embossing folder without the die? Yes, you can. Absolutely. So where's my leftover piece? So it will emboss. You can see up the top. It's just gorgeous. The only thing is the embossing folder and the dies come together. So you can't buy the embossing folder and the dies separate from each other, but you can use them separate from each other. Like you can use the dies like just as a regular die, or you can use them in the embossing folder. So you've got choices when you're doing this. Good question though, Marty. Janine said she's terrible at arranging springs and leaves. My card fronts looks like a salad half the time. Oh, is that a different embossing folder? I don't know because I don't have that one. Good morning, Jeanne. Marty says she loves it. Good morning, Tina. She says cute project. Jen says so cute. Thank you. Fair Blue says very nice project as usual. Thank you. Good morning, Stuart from New Hampshire. Janine says very cute. Stuart says, I think it works out great to get the project done and then take time to chat with all of us. Well, thank you, Stuart. I'm glad that you feel that way. So my mom, hi mom, watches my videos, and she's so cute. She's probably the only one that watches the beginning of my video and then my end of the video, and she doesn't watch the in-between part because she's not a paper crafter. She just wants to see me, so she watches the beginning and the end. It's kind of cute. I love that. So if my mom's watching later today, she'll see me. Say hi to her. It's fun. Stuart said, you can come up and join us in New Hampshire. Yeah, maybe one day. I am still okay. I'm probably one of the last people that is still being like a super masker. I still, when I go out in public, I still wear a mask. I know, like everyone in the world has moved on, but I still wear a mask in public. And so like I'm still haven't really gotten together with people. Now, I have to say I would probably get together with people if I wore a mask inside. I could do that, but I haven't. Going out to dinner is tricky because you have to take your mask off. So it does make for an interesting time. I have flown. I have, been surrounded by people in public. I've, done all of that. I'm just not comfortable. I don't know. I haven't gotten COVID yet either, knock on something wooden. But all of this time, all of these years that it's been around, we haven't gotten it. So I think that I think it makes me like paranoid, but that's an aside. We don't want to talk about that anymore, but that's why I haven't been out in public as much as I used to. Marty said, house hunting is so hard these days. It is super hard. It's like, every week the listings come up, and this week I really felt like I've been told by my agents, yeah, there's going to be more listings. Finally, we get past Easter, we get past Patriots Day, because Massachusetts has Patriots Day, and that's when they run the Boston Marathon, and it's a statewide holiday. I don't know if it's a holiday in other states, but in Massachusetts, Monday was a holiday, so not a whole lot went on the market last week because a lot of people were gone. And so I thought, okay, now the spring rush is going to come on. And it just was like, there was hardly anything more this week. And the houses we went to go see were lovely, but there were just a couple of things that just, and I don't even think I'm that picky because we have put in offers on houses. We've just lost out due to the craziness that is the market here. And, we're always in a bidding war situation. So anyway, my real estate agent yesterday, she paid me a huge, huge compliment. She said, have you ever thought about becoming getting your real estate license? And I was like, really? And she said, yeah, because you always pick really good houses, and not houses that she wouldn't consider. And when she comes with us to look at them, she's like really impressed that we find these houses that, like are that are great. They just, in the end, some of them don't have exactly what we're looking for. But I thought that was a huge compliment that she would say that. I study those listings, because it's easier to narrow things down right at the get-go. It's even strange. I know this is way too much information. So if you're not interested in my housing search, please don't feel you have to stay. But I feel like it's far easier to screen the houses ahead of time. So I really look at the listings carefully. I look at the neighborhoods carefully, and it takes a lot of time to do all that. Like, I have a process, and I will not even, like, I'll see a house for sale, and just as long as it meets like my minimum requirements for bedrooms and bathrooms, it might even not meet that because sometimes there's additional spaces, but I actually don't even look at the photos of the house. That's not even the first thing I do. The first thing I do is look at the location, and then if I think it's an okay location for what we want, then I will go further and delve into all the other criteria. One of the last things I do once it meets all those criteria is look at the house and the photos. So that's like I don't know if everyone else does it that way, but I won't even look at the house until it meets all of the location requirements that I have. I'm such a weirdo, but it's a crazy process, and so we're stuck in that right now. We've been looking now. I think it's been more than 6 months. It's coming up on 7 months we've been looking. So it's going to take a while. I've owned 2 houses before. My husband and I, we bought 2 houses before, and we've never had this issue before. We've never bought in this type of market, and it would be, the Boston market would be hard, even if there were more listings. But now it's gone from worse to worser. And I know worser is not a word, but that is my new word for how I feel about the Boston market. But I can still laugh, and we will find something eventually, that it will just take us a while. So sorry for the aside. So many asides about the housing market. I guess I need to get it off my chest. So Nancy asks, are all bundle prices going away? Yes, I think all of them are going away. If you have a question about, if you want me to double check for you on a particular bundle, please just shoot me an email and I will check for you. But I think everything that is currently a bundle, this used to happen. This used to be the policy that the bundle would be 10% in the publication that it first appeared, and then the bundle pricing would go away. But I think there were a couple of instances when that didn't happen. So now I'm kind of hesitant to say that, because now I feel like maybe I'm not being sincere. But for the most part, that is still the policy. So if it's in the Jan to April catalog, that bundle pricing will no longer be available in the new catalog. So just something to think about. Karen says, great little project. Ramona says, always such great projects. Thank you. Marty says, sometimes she still wears a mask too. It depends on where she is. And her son is still not eating out. Yeah, I'll be one of the last mask people out there. But I feel like on a plane, I will probably, even into the future, continue to wear a mask, because there's nothing for me, like, if I get sick while I'm traveling, and when you go through airport, you're just like the concentration of people and the proximity that you are to a whole bunch of other people, and you don't know if they're sick or not. I think it just makes sense in the future. I probably will continue to wear a mask for sure while I'm flying. just alone to get to my mom's place, I go through 4 airports. Boston, Toronto, either Calgary or Vancouver, and then Kelowna. I'm going through 4 airports and 3 airplanes. And so that's a lot of people to come into contact with in a close proximity. So I think for those situations, for me personally, that's what I'll probably do. I'll probably eventually not mask when I'm local, because if you get sick locally, then you can take care of yourself. But if you're away and you have a way to kind of prevent, that when you're in a concentrated area, to me personally, it's worth it. A lot of people don't want to do that, and I respect that. If right now we're not in crisis mode anymore, so this is more a personal preference for me than what everyone else wants, right? Okay. Nancy says she also feels the same way about being out in large crowds as well. You're definitely not alone. Oh, I'm glad there's still some people out there. I know there's a few people. I do have some friends that are also still doing the mask thing, but not a judgment. It's just it's in my brain. That's the way I am. And anyway, Ramona says, good luck with house hunting. Thank you so much. I will need a little luck. I definitely feel like there is a luck element, and we'll see how it goes. And we're not giving up. My husband and I we're both determined to find something. It will just take a little while, and we have to find that right thing, because at the end of the day, once we finally get the house, I don't want to regret my decision. I don't want to feel disappointed once an offer is finally accepted. I want to feel really good about it. And so far, I feel like the houses we've offered on and haven't gotten, I would have been happy to have, but we just haven't had one that's come up recently. All right, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. The project sheet is going to come out tomorrow, and I'll have a diagram. I don't think I need to do a diagram for the smaller one. I'll do a little diagram for this one because it will be helpful, I think, to see how to cut it. But the other one is just pretty straightforward. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.